What's up, y'all? It's Tuesday, it's 9:30. Heading to the shop right now. So if you're watching this video, I probably already dropped week 1 of the 6-figure barber mentorship program journey. But yeah, man, I'm hella happy. I'm just excited to just get the ball rolling on things and be consistent with this. But yeah, it's Tuesday. I have 4 clients. Got the weekly meeting with Bossio and the peer group today. So I end a little early because it starts at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So that's 6 p.m. I usually end at 7 at the shop on Tuesdays, but gotta make this work. So but yeah, see you guys in the shop. People still read the newspaper nowadays? I don't know, you tell me. Sometimes I think it's mad creepy every time I come into the shop and open up because it's hella dark. And across from us is a funeral home. Let me show y'all the funeral home real quick. In case you guys are wondering, this is my setup. Magic clips, wall seniors. Got the Babyliss trimmers, Babyliss shaver. Got some Hanzo shears. Got the blow dryer and a 245 razor. So I'm outside waiting on my first client. Usually for late appointments, about like 15 minutes. And then after that, I just charge them. Kind of had to learn that the hard way when I first started coming up. I think that was one of the biggest things I had to work on because sometimes homies and family, friends would do it and I wouldn't charge them. But at the end of the day, they gotta respect your time in business. So my first client is my boy Francis. He's not too late. One of the biggest things for me is as long as you communicate with me and you let me know ahead of time that you're gonna be late, then that's all that matters.
He's going to the draft this year.
This year?
Yeah, so I'm hoping.
Just spit this on. Saga. Is that Saga? Yeah, that's Saga boys.
Loke. Yeah, messing with the Lokes.
That looked like some PE coach type of vibe. What's up, boo?
You know what? Yes, Isaac.
Are you trying to say anything on YouTube? Gang.
Hey, if you don't get cut by Germ or me, you're missing out.
We have a whole lot of keywords that are going to help us rank when there's search terms. One thing that you're going to learn when you get into marketing is a term called NAP. All right, name, address, and phone number. Okay. One thing you could do, Jeremy, make sure in your description of your videos, put NAP and keep it consistent with every single video. So if you were to focus on how you're going to create memories this year, what would that look like?
We think like being smart is not cool or it's not like you're not a man. That's out, man. That shit is out. That's why I celebrate Idris because his confidence to be himself is valuable and it's inspiring. Yeah.
What's up, guys? So I counted my numbers last night. Bring in $200. Had 4 clients, which is pretty slow. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are really slow for me. These are the kind of days that I'm trying to work on to build clientele. Yeah, so today I have 6 clients. I have a couple new clients coming in, so I try to document everything. I didn't get to take a video of my last client yesterday. I'm trying to consistently do that. Be on the lookout for next week. On week 2, this video is gonna be dropping. So I just got done cutting my first client of the day. Here, so you guys know. My first client didn't want to be on camera. He gets camera shy. Some clients don't want to be filmed, so gotta respect that. So it's 9:45 right now. I have an hour gap, hour 15 gap, but next one's not till 11. So on my downtime, usually I just be chilling, go to my car and kind of just leave the shop. But I'm trying to stay more productive with that. So I'm thinking about just hopping on the mentorship program and watch like a few minutes of a module video. So in the mentorship program, every week we pretty much just hop on Tuesday at 6 p.m. and tell each other our W's for the week. And I just want to share you guys some. So for the longest time, I was mixing my personal, my business expenses, and I didn't know that when tax season comes, that when you go to CPA, they really don't like that. So I already had my personal Wells Fargo account. I already had a credit card from Chase. I got the Freedom, and I was just using this for personal expenses as well. And just recently, I just made 2 accounts with Chase, 2 more accounts with Chase where I have a debit card as well as a Freedom Unlimited card. So my Wells Fargo and my regular Freedom card are gonna be for personal expenses, and I'm gonna be paying myself out throughout each month with that. And for my business revenue and business expenses, I'm gonna be using my 2 Chase cards. So I'll let you guys see the next cut if my next cut wants to be filmed. So. How different? I had some pretty easy. The razor blades, sorry. Oh, there is? Yeah, It's Thursday, 8:57 a.m. Totaled up my numbers yesterday. Total revenue I made was $305, which is not too bad for a Wednesday. For Thursday today, I have 5 clients. I have a few open spots. About to jaywalk. I'm being lectured. It's 12 a.m., 12:16 a.m. Just went over to a club. Said happy birthday to a boy JB and Sago guys. It's been a minute since I went downtown San Jose and went to a club. If you don't know, I've been sober for 2 years, haven't drank in like 2 years, and I didn't drink obviously today, so just went over to say what's up, drank some water. So I usually sleep like around like 10:30, 11, and I got work tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. So I start at 9. We can still get there on time, so. It is 1:23 a.m. My lazy ass is really trying to go sleep right now. I told myself that I was gonna finish doing this spreadsheet that comes with the program. And I started it earlier today. And I told myself that I was gonna document the rest of April. So I got up until April 12th. And just get that done before I sleep and see you guys tomorrow morning. But yeah, reflecting back on last night, you know, it was dope. Just going out, having fun, and just vibing with cool people and listening to good music. I don't smoke, I don't drink. I haven't drank in like 2 years. It's about to be 3 years in December, so it's just cool, man. You know, like every now and then it's okay to like go out of your way, have fun, and just making sure that you keep your responsibilities straight and do the things that you said you're gonna do. So it was Cinco de Mayo yesterday. Shout out to JB, happy birthday to you, and all the Sago guys. It's cool seeing you guys. I know it's been a minute. Saw a couple friends that I haven't seen in a while. It's just cool, you know, and conversations catching up and shit. I don't know how I used to do it back then. Like be out till like 2, 3 a.m. and then wake up, almost be late to work, and my body just feels like shit. Like right now I'm hella tired. But at the end of the day, like I said, you gotta keep your responsibilities straight and, you know, just keep on pushing basically, so. There's always something different in the fridge. This week there's cupcakes. This week we got, I don't know what that is. But like I said, always bring 2 waters. That lasts me throughout the day. I mean, for my shift at least.
Yeah, it's like it's like going from like San Jose to Fremont.
I was trying to use it today at work.
Who you talking to today?
Stella.
Stella Foyden?
Yeah.
I feel like even strangers show more love sometimes.
Yeah. More love than actual people.
What's up, YouTube? Oh shit, I think boy Jeremy, bro.
Oh, talking about that?
Yeah, I mean, I subscribed to the old one.
Oh, no way, bro.
Same job. Nice.
Film like everything, like whenever you go on walks and stuff? That?
Even though you might not know it, even though I don't say it, but like it keeps me going too.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah. Oh, really? That's cool. Where's he from, you know? Did you really? That's on the back on the wall.
like having dinner or like get somewhere.
Yeah.
Anything else we can pray for you about also in your journey of faith?
Nah, it was a cool album, but not his best.
Yeah, not his best.
2020.
Oh, that came out during tonight? What's good, guys? It's Sunday. It's the end of the week, so I'm pretty much just counting my numbers and turn out the music. This time, I'm pretty much just gonna show you guys on the Google spreadsheet on my laptop, so. Okay, so Tuesday, I made 205. I had 4 clients, and Wednesday, 305. Every time I get 300s or above, I usually just bold them. Thursday, I made 240, 290, Saturday, 272, and today I only had 1 client. So to total everything up, I made $1,357. And compared to last week, I made $1,398. Pretty similar in revenue made. I'm trying to hit 1,500 like consistently, so I'm trying to get there. Reflecting back on my week, I feel like I did pretty well. I had about like 7 new clients. Things to improve on is to record. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I didn't really record some of my clients. For the most part, it was because I got too carried away with the conversation, or just was too busy and kind of just slipped my mind. Other things I'd say probably to give myself a 15-minute leeway when it comes down to like leaving my house to get to the shop, because factoring in traffic, I feel like traffic's been getting really bad, and it didn't really used to be this crazy, so I gotta factor in 15 minutes more to just get to the shop on time. I'm not saying I'm like really late, but I probably get like probably like a minute or 2 late, but really it's like 4 or 5 minutes if I gotta factor in like opening the shop and turning on the lights and setting up my station, so I just gotta do better on that. Thank you guys for the love on week 1's video. I took like 2-3 days just like editing that. I love editing. That's something I know like some people say when it comes down to editing, it's such a long process, and for me it is a long process, but like I'm the type to kind of be almost obsessed just rewatching my video, seeing little like nitpicks of what I could do better. I probably watched that first video that I dropped like, man, I can't even count, like 15-20 times, you know what I mean? As far as the mentorship program, I pretty much am settled with module 1. Module 2 has been doing really well. I've been inputting my numbers and watching a lot more videos. I'm pretty much like a third of the way done with module 2, and about marketing and things like that. So one of the biggest things that stood out to me about module 1 is one of the videos talking about this book called Start With Why by Simon Sinek. And that's a book that I've already read. I read it probably like 4 or 5 years ago. So he says leaders inspire and bosses manipulate, and in order for you to inspire and be a leader, it's by starting with why. So he explains how the most successful businesses don't start with what they do, they start with why they do it. So in short, what's the purpose of that business? Once you start with why and how and what, rather than what, how, and why, that's what's gonna make people really follow you. And I feel like your why kind of changes over time, Growing up from like 0 to 18, I feel like I was kind of just floating through life, and I really don't know what my purpose in life really was. But as I got older and I started meeting new people and experiencing new things, that's when I realized I had to figure shit out. I got to figure life out. I really had to ask myself really what I wanted to do. After 18, I went to community college. I went to De Anza. De Anza is a pretty well-known school around San Jose, Cupertino area. So I went the route of just going to community college, because that was the thing to do, right? After you graduate, either you go to college or you take a year break, or you just don't do nothing and just work, right? I took 1 quarter over there and only lasted probably like a month and a half. And reflecting back on it now, I feel like it's because I didn't really understand where I was going with it. Like I was just taking these general education classes because that was the thing to do, and that's what my counselor said to do, but really I didn't really have a future in mind as far as like where I'm going. So it just made sense to me to kind of just drop out. At the time, I felt like a loser just because I seen all my peers just going to school. They already had an idea in mind as far as what type of career they want to do. So when I dropped out, I started to ask myself, why did I drop out? Because I started comparing myself to all my peers, people I went to high school with, and I would ask myself, like, how do these guys have it all figured out already? I really had nothing in mind besides my parents growing up telling me to become a nurse. You guys don't know, I'm Filipino. In Philippine culture, it's almost like a stereotype to become a nurse. We're just taught that as we're growing up. So I got accepted to California State East Bay with the nursing program, but I decided not to do it. I don't know why. So after De Anta, I ended up going to a sister school named Foothill College, and they have this program for EMT. And I figured I might as well just dip my feet in the water as far as like the medical field and make my parents feel happy in some type of way. So if you guys don't know what an EMT is, it's an emergency medical technician. It's a step below paramedic, so you know, behind the ambulance. At first, when I got into EMT school, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty fun. It's very hands-on. Got to do a bunch of like medical, trauma, and airway practices, and those assessments were really fun. I'm not gonna lie. That's when I realized that I really liked doing things hands-on. So the reason why that didn't last was because I was almost done. All I had to do was behind the ambulance work, and I remember just doing one. Just that one ride along really just spooked me, and I was just like, nah, I can't do this. You know, a bunch of the instructors would always say like, this is a very stressful job. They drink after the job when they go home, and they always think about the shit that they see, and that would always like be in the back of my mind, like, damn, like, can I really keep a calm mind when it comes down to traumatic experiences and having to deal with these victims that are really hurt? So pretty much what happened was I quit that. I didn't tell my parents that I quit. So at the time, I was just working as a busser at a sushi restaurant. So I was doing that for like 2 months. And within those 2 months, my little brother, this is how I pretty much found barbering. So my little brother, he decided to get a haircut at a salon. And at the time, he just had like a bowl Asian haircut. And he decided to get, you know, a buzz cut. Pretty much like a 2 on top with probably like a mid fade and with a lineup. So come home from that sushi restaurant job one day, and I'm like mad excited to see his new haircut. Bro, when I tell you this man's haircut was so effed up, like it was so crazy, because once I saw his face and I saw his lineup, one side was like this, very pushed back, not even straight. And you know it was pushed back because you see the little tan line, and the tan line is going at a slant like this, right? So what pretty much happened was I told myself that I was gonna cut his hair, and once I dabbled into like tutorial videos on how to cut hair, that's when I saw like how to fade, how to taper from guys like, at the time it was like Kicking Is Randy, Jose Barber, Al's Millions, you know, Chris Bossio, 360 Jeezy, and this other guy named E Jones TV. You know, I'd watch these guys, and I was watching them for like a cool month, and I thought it was like super cool, the fact that you could change the person's image and, you know, make them feel confident and things like that. So I remember watching 360 Jeezy a lot at first, even E Jones. So I bought some fast feeds, some Oster fast feeds, and some TL liners off of Amazon, and I let my little brother's haircut pretty much just grow out. 2 weeks later, and you know, I've been watching a lot of haircut videos, tutorial videos, but it was mostly about fades. So you know, I just went at it. At the time, I was living in an apartment, only carpet floor. The only floor that didn't have carpet was in the bathroom. You know, it was tiles. So that's where I cut him. You know, I got like just a regular chair, cut him there, and I probably worked on him for like 2 hours, and I was like mad nervous. I was shaking, and like with the worst lighting, and man, it was crazy. But you know, he liked it. Saving my brother's haircut kind of like got me hooked a little bit. So I posted his haircut on Snapchat, and a couple of my boys saw it and decided to book with me. You know, they texted me like, hey bro, can you get me in? You know, a bunch of barbershops were busy at the time and were probably booked just because it was the holiday season. So one of my boys, Josh, he decided to hit me up and asked me to get a haircut. So at the time, I wasn't going to school. I was just cut up homies, and my parents still thought that I was going to EMT school. So that's when I started to look at barber college around the area. Urban Barber College was one of the colleges that popped up, and that's where I decided to visit, and that's where I went to. So mind you, I still haven't told my parents once I enrolled into barber college. You know, like I said, so it's December is when I started getting hair, and I started cutting up homies. And January, February 14th, Valentine's Day was my first day of barber college. So really what I would do is leave my home with my EMT clothes and go to barber college, switch from my EMT clothes to my barber college uniform, and then vice versa. Go home, switch from my barber college stuff to my EMT clothes. So to make it seem like I was still going to EMT school. They eventually found out because I left one of my barber college duffel bags at home. So once I told them that I enrolled into barber college, you know, the disappointment in their faces, it was just crazy, you know. Barbering is totally against the grain. It's a career that's not really focused on over there. In my head, being an 18, 19-year-old kid, I felt like they were really just neglecting me in some type of way. And I figured like because they're my parents, they're supposed to fully support me in whatever type of endeavor I do, right? So I showed a lot of hatred towards them for a while. Almost had this like chip on my shoulder to prove to them that I could make this barbering thing a career. I say now, still kind of like my why, but it's not my full why, if that makes sense. So my whole plan was to, since I knew my parents weren't gonna fund it, I was not gonna ask them to fund it since I knew that they weren't gonna support me, right? So in order for me to prove them wrong, I was gonna fully invest all my time, money, sweat, blood, tears into this, right? I went on payment plan. I was paying $350 every month for 25 months. So I was still paying off barber college after school. So barber college for me, since I was doing it part-time, was 15 months. So I paid $11,000 in total. So about like 4 or 5 months after starting barber college, that's when I feel like my second why just popped up. And what pretty much happened was my best friend passing away. You know, his name was Baldwin. And it was a sudden accident. And at the time it was really hard to accept the fact that he was gone because we experienced so much in life together. I just felt like there's no purpose in life at that point. Like I didn't want to cut hair anymore. I didn't want to do barbering. So at the time, I just took a month off. Really had to get my mind right before I started going back into the grind and going to work and going to barber college and seeing if I wanted to do barber college anymore because like I was just lost at the time. Then I started to ask questions as far as like, you know, what would he want me to do? When I first told him that I wanted to pursue barbering, he was one of the very first people I told, and he was one of the first people that really, you know, hyped me up about it. I still remember to this day, you know, his first words were, he was like, "Hey bro, you're gonna meet some dope people while you're gonna be cutting hair." Those words of encouragement at the time, I'd say really pushed me to just do whatever fuck I wanted to do. You know, that's one of the things that I learned from him was, you know, don't give a fuck about what other people think or do. As long as you're happy, then that's all that matters. So my second why really was finishing barber college and letting him know that I got my L's and I got my state board license. You know, once I got into school, that's when I got into reading up on, you know, The Secret, manifesting things. So I would always keep it in the back of my mind that, you know, once I go to Fairfield is about like 2 hours away from San Jose, and pass my state board test on the first try. One of the first stops were to go to Oak Grove, you know, the memorial where my boys placed at. And I was gonna show him my state board license and let him know like, "Hey bro, you know, I fucking did this shit." So sure enough, you know, it happened. And August 6, 2018, that's when I got my L's. The crazy part is, you know, he died a year before, August 5th, 2017. So, you know, that 1 year anniversary really just pushed me to let him know like, "Hey bruh, you know, I did this for you." That's when I figured that whatever you put your mindset to and whatever you believe in, ultimately, if you think you're gonna do it and you believe you're gonna do it, then it's gonna happen, regardless of what people think, say, or do. As long as you just put in the work and stay consistent, then that's what's gonna happen. Yeah guys, that's week 2 of the 6-figure barber journey. Thank you guys for watching. So now I'm just thinking about dropping every Tuesday at 9 a.m. and keeping that a weekly schedule. And yeah, thanks for watching. Drop a like, and I'll see you guys on the next one.